Hello, one person that watches all the videos on this channel. How's it going? Well, I've been neglecting the Stormtrooper a lot lately. I think when I made that last video I realized I need to spend a little bit more time on her. Look how gnarly she's. So dirty. Let's talk about some tires today. I'm going to do something easy today. Let's rotate tires. Let's talk about these tires. The rims I have are from a 2012, which the original rims for this vehicle didn't look like this. They had this straight, what is it, a 12 spoke, I think, 18 by 7 rims. But when I bolted on all of my mods, I had a lot of trouble keeping the meat on the ground. It would just break loose in first, second, and third under wide open throttle. So I decided that I needed an upgrade and I needed some fatter meats. So after experimenting with fatter meats on those rims, I decided that that wasn't even enough, and I thought maybe the upgrade, and I want to say in 2010 that Mazda did to these rims, would have been something that I could bolt on. Plus, I just love the way these rims look on this car, way more than the straight 12 spokes. So was able to go on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace or whatever and find a used set, since at the time everybody was taking these rims off and putting on their Yankees or whatever their super light nonsense rims were. So I got a really good deal on these. Anyway, you can see they're kind of funky. This is a look that I prefer for my vehicles. I mean, I want her to be clean, but I enjoy the dirtiness of the rim, and I don't know if you can get a sense of the coloration here, but I don't necessarily like the brushed aluminum look. It's too silver, and I wanted like some bronze-ish rims, and lo and behold, it actually turns out when you get some brake dust on these guys, it starts to rust a little bit, the brake dust does, and it turns it a little bit bronze, especially apparent on the front. I love this sort of look here, and I know it's kind of gnarred, but you know, like my C10, I don't mind that my vehicle's got some war wounds. So anyway, just so happens these new rims are half an inch wider. They're 18 by 7.5, which allowed me to put some fatter meats than stock. I'll try to put on the screen the stock specification for the tires. The ones that I ended up settling on were actually driven because I got a lot of curb rash on my first set of tires on these, because the rims would actually stick out past the bead of the tire. And so I would always kiss the curb first if I made any kind of little tiny mistake, and that really pissed me off. So I think the primary driver for this new size of tire was twofold. Get some more grip on the ground, maybe try to, actually it's threefold maybe, try to fill up the wheel well a little bit, because I wasn't interested in lowering her, but I did want a little bit fuller wheel well. So I wanted some taller tires, I wanted a little bit wider tires, I knew. And so 225 45 18s are the ones that I settled on, because the bead sticks out further than the rim. I haven't kissed the rim in forever when parallel parking or anything, thanks to these tires. I wish I had them at the beginning. That said, let's talk about rotating the tires, because that's what I'm going to do today. There's two ways to rotate. You can bring the front wheels straight back and then cross the rear ones on the way up to the front. That's sort of standard procedure. That's if you have what they call a non-directional tire. They have these other tires, especially when you get into the performance tires, that they'll call directional tires, where the tread is meant to only go a certain way. There's no warnings on the tire that it's directional, and so we should be able to do the standard non-directional tire rotation. First things first, let's try to get this guy safely up on 4 jack stands. Jacking up a newer car is quite a bit more stressful than jacking up old Longboy out there. You can pretty much put a jack under anything on that thing. This car, we're going to have to be a little bit more careful. Tire rotation. Let's see what Mazda says about it. That's kind of interesting. So all the smarty pantses out there on YouTube who are going to tell me to flip the fronts, guess what? Not going to. Alright, so now you know the official word from Mazda. Oh, you know what? I wanted to see if there was any notes on jack points in here too. See if we can't see something under here. She's a little tight. She's a little low. Ow! Oh, I put my knee on that. Oh, that hurts. Okay, good. I think that's a spot right there. So what I'm looking at is I'm looking for X marks the spot right under the front end here. Got a little tranny fluid under there. We fixed that in another video. You check that bad boy out when you can. Alright, good. I'm thinking right there. I'm thinking right under that guy. Nice and thick and safe. So let's see if we can't mat up on that spot there. Hey, these low profile jacks are amazing. Then you don't have to do any of that fancy woodblock nonsense that some of these other cats are doing. I'm worried that I won't be able to fit it under there though. So we might have to come at it from the side. Boy, that's as low profile as it gets, isn't it? Let's see how far we're reaching. Not even close. Not even close. Is she gonna reach? Yeah. Alright, so that's just a plastic valance right there. I don't mind pushing into that a little bit. It looks like I'm right where I want to be. There she is. That should be 1 millimeter at a time. Oh, yeah, she grabbed something. Alright. Looks like she's right where we want her. Let's see if we can't lift her up. You know what I didn't do? Let's get her in gear. E-brake on. Let's chock the tires. Alright, I'm not seeing any give. I'm just seeing the car lift. So I'm feeling pretty good. Alright. Just ease her up. And I'm looking for any problems. This seems solid. Alright, we got one wheel up. Let's see if I can. We got both fronties just came. And let's just pick her up as much as we can. Now, just because I'm a big fat guy, I do kind of want to pick them all the way up, but I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to pull that off right now. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to count. I'm going to do 2 steps so that I can get her all the way up. 1, 2, 3. So this area is a pinch weld, should be quote unquote safe. Okay, there we are. So I'm just going to try to put the pinch weld right in the middle of this guy right here. One, two, three. And this side's a little higher, so it should be easier to get her up. And again, lining up the pinch weld with the middle of the jack. So now we're going to very carefully and slowly lower her down onto her front jack stand. So I'm just twisting ever so slightly. Okay, she's coming down very slowly. All right. So now the weight of the vehicle is completely on these jack stands. Seems legit. Yep. Yep. All right, let's get on over to the rear. I'm going to come in right in between these 2 bolts right here. And we'll see if we can't get her up. Let's get to it. Okay. Now I'm going to be pretty careful here. My driveway is only sort of level. And so I'm going to ease her on up and make sure that not only everything looks clean up in there, but I want to make sure my jack stands don't fail, because I'm not on a very level surface. Okay, everything looks good. Everything's coming like she should. Excellent. I like the cutouts on the pinch weld. Seems like it's meant to have a jack stand placed there. So this is where we're going to put her, right there. Again, take your time. Take your time, kids. There we are. Like a glove. Alright, found the groove. Yep. Nice and easy. Lowering her down. There she goes. Feels good. Looks good out there. And she's on the jack stands. Now we're going to head back to the front so we can raise the front of the vehicle to old fat guy level. Yeah, that'll grab. That'll work. I think I got 3 or 4 inches of vertical that I need to get. All right, this is looking good. Nice and gingerly, I'm going to let her down onto the jack stands up front. Twisting. There she comes. And there she is. Now, I don't want to push my luck too much, but I do want to give her a test for safety. All right, she's up. All right, excellent. So let's start zipping off some of these. Now, I'm kind of a cheater. I do use the Milwaukee stubby. Some people, some smartasses on the internet will give you problems for not using a breaker bar to break this. You know, look, when you take it into the tire store, you think they're going to use a breaker bar? They're not using a breaker bar. What is the safest and best? Probably break it and then zip it off with one of these. But I already have the car up, the wheel, even with the e-brake on, the wheel's turning. So I'm going to go ahead and, even with the car in gear, it's turning. So I'm going to go ahead and just give her a zip. What do I got? This is the 3/8 inch stubby from Milwaukee. Legendary tiny little impact wrench that works for dang near everything automotive. I'll link it in the description. It's a great little unit. Since this is a 3/8 and my impact socket is a 1/2, I got to step it up with a 3/8 to 1/2 inch step up. Interestingly enough, these are hard to find from Milwaukee, so it's a Husky. So this is the setup. Let's go ahead and zip off some of these. Yep. And I've got the locking lug nut here, so I'm going to add the lug nut key. And there she came. I'll go ahead and file these off to the side. Yeah, it looks like our wheel is ready to come off. I'm going to roll it to the back. Left side rear. Same setup. zip them off. Go. We'll continue all the way around. Right rear. Sweet. Alright, so front wheels are waiting to be mounted on the rear. The slightly cleaner rear wheels are queued up for the front. Same. I'm just going to quickly look out of sheer curiosity and try to see what I'm dealing with back here. I had the shocks replaced with some Bilsteins pretty long ago, clearly. Looks like she's leaking. That could be from the old one though. Maybe she's not leaking. She feels fine. Small discs in the rear, but the Mazdaspeeds had giant, what's that, 3.5 inch contact patch there, giant fronts, and that's why it throws so much more brake dust off the front, because most of this stopping and accelerating is coming from the front side. Yeah, everything looks alright up here. Got a little bit of a leak on this sway bar and link. Got some grease coming out of there, but she feels solid. Everything feels solid. I suspect there's some kind of issue here with this bushing and on the front on the other side. Okay. And then I suppose a professional would tell you not to do this and smear things around. Get grease on this area. They'll say it'll contaminate your brakes or whatever, but that's what brake clean is for, folks. So I'll have to give it a shot of brake clean right now because I touched both sides of the front rotor, and I'll be a little safe here. I'll go ahead and get a fresh shop towel and just give her a fresh hose down. Make sure there's no grease on there. This I looked at earlier because I have curiosity. This is all from the transmission fluid leak that we fixed in another video. This is all plastic, so I probably shouldn't do this, but I'm going to anyway. I don't think that made much of a difference at all, but I can say I did it. I don't see any massive leaks. I don't see anything big here. Everything's stock up front. And let's have a look at the back. And I'm just looking at brake lines, just making sure everything looks good. And this vehicle is so legendary, I'm sure it is all good. Yeah, we're fine. So again, straightforward and straight back is what I'm going to do with the tires. That's what it said in the manual. So that's what we're going to do today. There she goes. Get our magic gun. And we'll start hand threading on, but then we'll zip them on the rest of the way with the gun. On there. Alright, so they're on there. Before I take her off the jack stands though, I'm going to tease the next video, I think, and I need to double check what kind of oil filter this thing has. They made these Mazdaspeeds with 2 different kinds of oil filters, and so I'm not sure if there's a canister or if it's a housing, which we have the answer now. This is the housing, so Allen Rich filter. So I know which one I need to purchase. Looks like we have a little bit of something coming out. That don't look bad at all. Leaking just a little bit. We'll have a look at that in the next video. For now, let's go ahead and take her off the jack stands. I'm going to take her down the same way I put her up. So we're going to step down the front just for safety, just for ultimate safety. So I'm going to lift her off the front jack stands, just enough to take the weight off the jack stands, and then drop them down. Yeah, let's just drop it all the way down. And nice and easy. Nice and easy. There she comes. Well, that's interesting. The wheels are touching the ground, and I'm not even on the jack stands yet. Alright, let's just take her all the way down. And let's hope that I don't bust my jack stands. And let's hope I can pull my jack out of there. I can't. That's a bummer, ain't it? Alright then, let's go back up. Unless, can I push her through? We're doing stuff the right way today. We're doing everything the correct way today. I'm just going to go up just enough to take the weight off the jack stands. And I think I just saw the jack stands give. Yep. Let's let her on down, nice and easy. Alright, so the idea is you take it for a spin, get some weight on the wheels, you let her kind of settle a little bit. So I'm pretty much just gonna take her around the block. We've successfully rotated our tires. See you all next time.